But yeah, it's a fun new stage of life. And it was crazy how it affected my riding. It's crazy how it affected my mental state, and it had nothing to do with that moment in time. Like I said, I was sitting on the safest horse doing nothing. I was just like walking and trotting around. But the cool thing, I guess, that happened, coaches get fear too, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to work through it. And I did the tools that I know how to use for getting rid of fear. And well, good morning. I thought I'd share with you today some fun, not so fun things going on in my life. And it's women's hormones just messed me up this week. Yeah, I'm 46, so I've started some of that pre-menopause stuff. And I kid you not, it messed with my riding, it messed with my head, it messed with everything. Man, oh man, the last 2 days have not been fun. And I've never had that before, to that level. Anyway, yeah, like I was saying, I was riding probably the safest horse I own. Super safe. Nothing was happening. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we were just trotting around. So literally, nothing was happening. And I felt insanely fearful. And I knew it was hormones. I knew it was women's hormones. And it definitely had to do with pre-menopause crap. I was so mad and fearful at the same time. And it lasted for a long time. Anyway, so I happened to say to the people I was riding with, I'm like, you know what? I think this is a good thing that I show you guys how I have these tools to work through fear. And so within 5 minutes, I worked through that fear. It was incredible. And it went away for, for sure 45 minutes after that. And it was great. But then it spiked back up again for no reason. I was happened to be just sitting in my house and this fear came back of nothing. I couldn't even tell you what I was fearful of. So it had nothing to do with being in the saddle, and I knew that. And it just, Anyway, I happen to have a doctor's appointment today with, or a naturopath appointment. And it's a kind of pre-screening appointment. I've been to this clinic once before, and they did this thing of blood spinning. I'm not sure if they're going to do that again today, but they were able to help me quite a bit in the past. So here's hoping that that same thing will happen again. But yeah, it's a fun new stage of life. And it was crazy how it affected my riding. It's crazy how it affected my mental state. And it had nothing to do with that moment in time. Like I said, I was sitting on the safest horse doing nothing. I was just walking and trotting around. But the cool thing, I guess, that happened was my friends and students or whatever, they were able to see me be vulnerable and say all right, well, coaches get fear too, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to work through it. And I did the tools that I know how to use for getting rid of fear. And I'm yeah, so I think it only took 5 minutes, probably less than 5 minutes. And I said when we get to the in gate and you happen to be feeling stuff, just remember this moment of where I showed you that I worked through it, and use that as an example of actually this tool did work. Anyway, I'm at the barn now, so I'm going to grab a horse and ride it. I have 2 hours before I have to leave the property. And yeah, hopefully it's just going to be a really informative meeting with them. It is the first meeting, so I don't know what they do in that first 90 minutes, but I'll let you know how it goes. And yeah, wow, is it ever foggy out today? It's really quite pretty though. And it's already, what time is it? It's 10 o'clock already, and it's this foggy still. Interesting, we don't usually get fog like this. Hi, Maisy. Hey, Marvs. Oh, Maisy, you're so sweet. Hey? So are you, Marvs. You guys want my coffee? Hurry. Coffee. All right. Oh, Marvy. I have compass with me. Yeah, we're gonna go for a ride. I think, I was just thinking about the appointment we have with the naturopath, and I'm gonna be absolutely shocked if she doesn't say, he or she, I can't remember, is gonna say something like, your cortisol levels are fine. Just know that's part of the problem. And that was 100% overwork, like moving into a new house, building the basement of the new house while running this business at the same time. Like you can even see it in my face. Like my face is a bit puffy, right here is puffy. And as a fun new thing, my stomach went out an inch, I want to say in the last 2 months. So that's super fun. Anyway, I'm very excited because I do work out and I do ride. And so it's just going to be nice to find the exact answers. Come here, buddy. You're walking behind me. Come here, buddy. Just walking before we get on. It's going to be nice to find out the exact answers and the best ways to fix this. Like, I'm not going to have to guess. They're going to say, okay, well, your B12 levels are this, or your magnesium levels are this, or whatever it is. Like before, like, I mean, right now, I'd be just guessing on what to fix in order to fix this whole cortisol problem. And I do know for sure that our mattress is part of the problem, like without question. I am a stomach sleeper. I'm also Captain Overshare, by the way. That's my nickname my husband gave me. But I sleep on my stomach, and I think our mattress is just too hard for me to be sleeping on my stomach, given that I'm a woman and I have a chest. So I think for sure we're trying this mattress topper. It should be here sometime this week. And if that doesn't work, we're just going to get a new mattress too, because better sleep is super, super important in order to do this sport or run a facility or whatever. But I'm really excited to get actual answers today. But I think I'm just going to get on this beautiful boy. And yeah. Hey, buddy. Time to ride. Okay, I wasn't going to film today, but I actually feel like this is a good topic because a lot of women go through this when you hit your 45, 50th age and you start like menopause or premenopause or anything like that. The craziest thing happens with women's hormones is it can actually make your body feel physically weak. And so that's probably one of the things that's actually causing a bit of fear. Also that high cortisol level for sure. ChatGPT, it 100% can cause fear of high cortisol. Anyway, I'm just gonna show you me working through it. So one of the tools that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through this little pole course and I'm gonna do the add step. I'm not gonna do competition step, I'm gonna do the add step. So anytime that you're trying to like take fear away or anything like that, take the pace away, that does help. The other thing is I'm gonna make the canter so potentially slow that potentially he'll break into the trot. I'm gonna be doing that on purpose. Would I do this in a competition? No. Is it a good tool to use at home when you're working through something that's going on in your head? Yeah. And then I'm also going to be gentle with myself. And so actually what I was thinking of is one of like the biggest fears that I was working through yesterday was the fear of making a mistake. So when I'm going around, I'm actually going to be encouraging myself to make a mistake. The other thing that I know is when you think positive thoughts, your body gets physically stronger. When you think negative thoughts, your body gets physically weaker. So I'm actually going to tell myself out loud as I'm going around, you're so brave, you're so confident. And I'm talking to my brain, I'm not talking to the camera. I'm actually just going to reprogram my head so that, and I'm going to add belief to it so that I start to believe it. It's the craziest thing. It actually has nothing to do with riding. This horse, by the way, is the safest horse. He's so unbelievably safe. I can't stress it enough. That the fear has nothing to do, like it's a real fear for sure, but it has nothing to do with him. Like it has everything to do with hormones. So the fear for sure for me was fear of making a mistake. And I didn't, when I was riding with other people, I would ask myself, like, is it a fear of like making a mistake in front of others? I'm like, no, it's just plain out fear of making a mistake. I don't care if others are around or not. So just like, well, if I make a mistake, it proves to my brain, hey, you didn't die, you're fine. So in fact, if I make a mistake, I'm gonna like reward myself and say, hey, you didn't die, you were completely fine. And that's something I actually learned from David Asprey. We went to this incredible Vegas conference, and David Asprey was like, you should be making mistakes every single day, and that's how you advance. Like masters make piles of mistakes. Anyway, that's what I'm going to be working through. The other thing that I know that's, so anyway, I was riding along and I wasn't going to film, but I thought like this is a valuable topic. So anyway, I've already done this course once, so I think it's going to go better now than it did the first time. But while I was riding around the first time, my arms and my legs felt physically weak. Like I knew I wasn't using my legs and my arms enough, women's hormones. So knowing that and just be like, okay, so you knew that you weren't using enough aid the first time. What if you could use 10% more? What if you could use 20% more to just like overcome it? And like if he speeds up too much, so be it. Like if he slows down too much, so be it. Anyway, enough yipper yapper. I'm gonna do the course. I think I'm gonna do this outside line going away from home. I'm gonna do this green and white pole going towards home. Then I'm going to do this outside orange line going away from home. Then I'm gonna come across the diagonal and slice this orange going towards home. Then I'm going to do the bending line from the natural to the natural. And then I'm going to finish off on the blue line to the natural coming home. And I'm not going to worry about, in fact, if I do an ad step or even a double ad step, good enough, because when you're working through stuff, going to an ad step, totally fine. Like once you feel confident in the ad step, move up to the competition step. Or I'm gonna see what pace. Like if the competition step feels good, I'm gonna allow that. And just kind of like let the confidence come as I go. Alrighty, well, let's go, Mr. Compass. Oh, the other thing I should say is this horse is not fit. So I'm gonna plan for simple changes because of his fitness. Like it's just, it'd be unfair to ask for clean changes when he's not fit. All right, hey, Mr. Cumps. This is not a horse that I ride super often. We bred him and he was out on lease for a long time. But then he came off lease and had this glorious break in the paddock and just enjoyed life. But now I'm gonna get him back to it. And because I'm working through women's hormone stuff, I think I'm just gonna use this absolute schoolmaster to help me get my noggin back in check. Because he is super trustworthy. All right, here we go. Right at the counter, ask the counter. Up into my 2-point, short my reins, outside right rein. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. rotating through my corner, keeping my shoulder with my horse, across the diagonal, hands together. There we go, simple change. Good boy. Leg, leg, leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Allowing that rusty feeling, totally fine. Adding leg, keep my chin up. Flowing elbows, 3, 2, 1. Inside leg. Good boy. Hands up the back. Tall and body. Keeping my leg, 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 leg. Good boy. Opening inside hand, leg, leg, leg. Good boy. Opening inside hand, hand together, outside ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So again, I knew I was on that half step, and I was totally fine with it. The fact that I had such a rough day with hormones yesterday, I can't even tell you what a rough day I had. And the fact that I just got in the saddle was an absolute win. The fact that I went around in Canada to pull course was an absolute win. Was it perfect? Heck no! I wasn't aiming for perfection. I was aiming to just get in the saddle today. And yeah, like, if you haven't reached this age yet where like premenopause or menopause even affects you, I can't even describe what this feels like, but it's garbage. It feels like garbage. Anyway, crying for no reason doesn't feel good. But anyway, it's something that I think not just me deals with. So some of the tools that I used was I talked out loud as I went around. That makes you breathe. So talking out loud. And then the other thing you might have noticed I did was I said what aids I was using. So that focuses your thoughts. And it also pulls your attention to the activity that you're doing and less attention, like it just, by focusing your attention on the step that you're doing at that moment, it really helps with fear because you just get confident because you're like, oh right, one thought at a time, not 20 thoughts at a time. And the fact that I'm on this incredible, trustworthy guy, I just can't thank him enough. Anyway, that's it for this ride. On to the appointment. All right, well, it is 7 o'clock. There's Pookie. It's later on in the day, much later, it's 7 p.m. I'm gonna go out and ride Marv just for fun. Not really working on anything, but just enjoy myself. You know what? I'm gonna walk to the barn and put an ice boot on a horse, and then I'll keep talking once I'm there. Actually, you know what? The lighting actually isn't so bad, so maybe I'll vlog while I walk because I actually see there is somebody at the barn. So anyway, the day was really great. I went to the appointment with the naturopath, and they didn't do the blood spinning, but they just did the initial assessment, and what we kind of decided was to work on the adrenals first and then order some tests to test the women hormone stuff. But if we can just before, because I guess those tests take time, we can in the meantime work on the cortisol stuff. And she gave me a bunch of stuff. I'm so excited about it because you know when you get that feeling where you're like, okay, this is the right track. Some vitamin D. Actually, she gave me a B12 shot, and I didn't realize how low I was in B12 until I got that shot or whatever it is. Yeah, she said, well, some people don't even feel a difference, other people do. I clearly felt a difference. And she said it usually can take up to 24 hours before you feel anything, but I already feel better. Case in point, I'm actually going out to the barn at 7 because I have a lot more energy on a day that not everybody in my household is even feeling all that well. I mean, there's people in my household that never get sick who are sick right now. And I actually, after that appointment, I was completely bagged. I went and got some horse supplies that I needed from the store. And then after that, I took a very long nap. Well, not quite. I couldn't really get to sleep, but I rested, which was super important. But now I want to go out to the barn and just play. Not work, but just play and enjoy my horsies. Oh, I already see one. Let me flip the camera. Hi, boys. I'm doing a trail ride indoors tonight. I just wanted to spend time with my buddy. He's so fun. And also, I'm sick of TV. I feel so much better than I did this morning. I can't even tell you. Probably had something to do with that vitamin B12 shot, but also Marvin. You're so funny. He like stopped to sniff something. Yeah, what was I saying? It probably had something to do with that B12 shot, but it also could just be that I had a really great rest and lay down. And by the way, I'm not giving doctor's advice by any means. I'm just like telling you my personal coping stuff. And I'm really glad that I happened to book an appointment with a naturopath. And she, like, first we're going to go after the adrenals, but then next after that, we're going to book some tests to do specifically with women's hormones and seeing like specifically what my hormones are, like what levels and stuff like that. She came up with a plan and I thought that plan was a good one. So I'll keep you guys updated on all of that because, yeah, women's hormones for sure were affecting my ride. They were affecting my mindset, which was crazy. They were affecting just feeling tired all the time. Oh, and the big one, the new one, was fear. I've never had that before. I've never had, like sometimes in the spring, I'll get like women's hormones like worse than like any other time of the year, but it's fall right now and I've never had that like fear, but I think that was strongly related to like high cortisol. And she was asking me, she's like, what do you think your high cortisol is from? I'm like, well, I'm 99.999% sure it's passion burnout. I love what I do, but I just do it to the point where I make myself sick. So I'm gonna have to like, and we're already doing it. Like we're refining what we're doing, and it is working. But I still have too much on my plate, and I will just try and get the remaining stuff that I want to moved off my plate faster, just because it's so much. It's so important to like work a normal work day, not this insane work day. Well, I think Marvy wants to do some stuff here. Maybe we'll have a little fun ride. Hey, buddy. And that'll be it for today. Then maybe I'll go up to the house and chill out with the family. Enjoy the evening. Catch you guys later.